Hello and welcome to this new video in the advanced course, this time about debugging of formulas. So if you have an error, how can you handle it? So here first small meme about debugging or errors. If you have, for example, an NA hashtag NA error, it's way more brain headache than stress or migraine or so on. Or, for example, this is one of the most disturbing pumpkins there's out there in hashtag ref pumpkin. So to say, you experience that there are these hashtag things, and these are the so-called error codes. And every error code or every error recognized directly by the Excel program will start with an hashtag. For example, hashtag null is an indirect range operator. Hashtag divided by zero is when you divide something by zero, and you know that from school, dividing by zero is mathematically impossible. Hashtag value is a general error. You could either have a formula error or an error in a referenced cell or so on. Hashtag ref is when you reference to an invalid cell. This is one of the worst nightmares because then you most often can't restore things because you have, for example, deleted cells there. Often this happens when you have like large financial models and the interns were playing around with them. Hashtag name is a typing error in formula name or within formula. Hashtag num is when a formula contains invalid numerical values. For example, if you have a sum function and there is instead of a number a letter inside this function. And hashtag NA is, for example, an error you have with the XLOOKUP function because the search value cannot be found there. And then the XLOOKUP function will hand out hashtag NA. So, and you need to know those error codes here, or it can be handy to know those error codes here to know what the problem is, what the underlying problem is with your formula. For example, if I know I have an NA error in my XLOOKUP function, then there's another error behind it is instead of having a hashtag NA hashtag name, for example, when I have an XLOOKUP formula inside a cell. So when you know those error codes, you could possibly then see, oh, this error could be be because of this problem and so on and so on. So, but if you have errors that aren't recognized by Excel with the error code, and you only know them by checking your model or something is a little bit odd and so on, these are a little bit more difficult to recognize. So for example, if you are making sample check and you see, oh, there's something odd, then you have a little bit of a problem. And then you need to go into your error search. You could then use either the formula monitoring, you will find them under formulas and formula auditing, or the formula evaluation, for example, which will output the intermediate result of formula components. You can also use the shortcut Alt-TUF to open the formula evaluation. And another way is when you have your input line and you hover over cell parts, then the intermediate results will be played. For example, here with this, there are those conditions, um, condition results errors here. So example, false true is the result of this condition here. So, and with this, we are at the end of our presentation of this short part about debugging, and debugging can be quite hard. So don't don't feel that it is every time that easy. For example, if you have errors or if you know there's something odd and I need to check my model for that, this can be very, very, very hard. So I hope you will never experience something similar.